Country people at Chore Salon. As una sabi am, the one undaunted pidgin news, place where tori no dey hide. Na that's so. Shake shake no dey. Na me tori pikin su, aka talk am all. I don come again, make me mash fire. Country people, tori for today na that's so. Today na Donga Mantung County dem draft day. E don knack number 4 year now wey late journalist Samuel Wazizi e die for colonial Republic governor dem hand. We go broad tori for Bakassi Palava. The people of Oboyo comot strong for outside say dem no go wait for Tiv Pipo Republic governor before dem fix dem road. China Oyibo people dem pay 1 million for Ekelebe dem for Nigeria say make dem kill we innocent refugee dem for refugee camp. Find place put last for ground. She no corner your tele because tori pikin go broke tori fine at the camera. People so talk am all. Today my country people na Donga Mantung their draft day. Make all man shook hand for pocket. Make we comot for our number dem. We support the voices in the bushes. Ambazonia must to free. We no nonsense boy dem don already show we say their food dey strong for ground and dem no dey fear Republic mbele dem and dem go show dem pepper. Country people, day before yesterday be na number 4 year wey we lost we find Ambazonia tori person wey na late Samuel Wazizi for under Republic governor dem kidnap. Na for number 19 day for the August 2019 wey tori broke say late journalist Samuel Wazizi die for under Republic governor dem arrest. Since he die so up till now, no man never ever see his dead body so for this man. And then Republic governor too don look up this palava say im go do investigate. Even they investigate wey dem dey claim say dem dey do am not show. For the investigate, all family people don ask am say wetin dey happen because dem no get faith for the palava again. According to when a big oga madam for committee for protect journalists for Africa program, Republic governor don lie for you say dem go do investigate for this Wazizi he die. Dem lie for this woman plenty so tey she dey tell tori people say she don vex. Dem no care say tori people like me so lawyer people dem into in family people the top place upside down because dem dey find Mr. Wazizi. Dingondere too the still vex, im get plenty regret because im be believe for republic governor say dem go do as dem dey talk. Say for dis palava dem go follow better investigate and dem go answer am. But as I dey tell una so, nothing wey republic do for the palava. 2 days before be na number 4 year wey dem say dem go do investigate for the palava, and republic don dey do am up till now, nothing. Paper dey even talk say republic thief man, so because im work with the Ambazonian people dem, na im wey dey kill dis man. Because he be dey talk true, say make Ambazonian people dem make dem hear all thing wey e dey happen. So dem say im dey work with our Ambazonian bosses, na im wey dey get for permit dis man. Make we keep small quiet for the with strong man. Make his soul rest in perfect peace. For another palava for Bakassi, if republic like am, make dem lie for all man. So dem even by 15 years say na dem get Bakassi. Dem glad sotey dem go work out for grandpa bia e head say na im get sense correct. If dem care, make dem call Kamto, dem glad with it because im be say Kamto na im be right the book wey dem use am for thief Bakassi for dem hand. But the question wey I wan ask am now na say, the glad wey dem dey glad so e go stay? Because we no find say Ambazonia na im get Bakassi. Or wetin concern bone inside bread. Even big book people like lawyer dem dey talk say Cameroon get Bakassi, sika say Bakassi dey na for Ambazonia. If Bakassi dey na for Ambazonia and na whether dem dey say na Cameroon get Bakassi, e mean say Cameroon no get Bakassi because Ambazonia dey na on im own. Republic no get no thing for talk because they get na different independent day with the Ambazonia. So for this palava, your king don give a judgment. Bakassi no go for Republic, Bakassi go for Ambazonia. Then Republic dem make them disappear. I don talk am and a final full stop. Yesterday wey be 19 day for the moon, we papa dem, we mama dem, even pikin dem for Boyo, dem comot say na dem go fix dem Fundong Ginicom road. This also block as way ground for block up place. The palava so make am sotey road no dey for people for pass inter or for comot from Ginicom. So we people dem decide say dem go comot, dem go hold dem collapse dem, and dem go try for see how wey dem go fix the road dem. We people say dem no go shindon the wait make like Republic can spoil dem road in the name say im dey fix am. Person wey get it in, na im go like am and na im go know how wey im go fix am. Last, according to correct tori wey e interview from we come be dem for ABC for that side for Adagonti refugee camp, e get as e be say Oyibo people for China don pay 1 million for Nigeria money for Nigeria Ekelebe people dem make dem shoot kill we innocent refugee dem. Country people the palava so na because of speed break. We country speed break so that they go fit help with school pikin dem make dem cross road go fine for school. But for number 16 day for the moon, this China Oyibo dem pay Ekelebe dem say make dem scatter all thing, scatter the speed break because say dem dey find way road go waka enter for their workplace wey e no go worry dem. We get problem for la Republic in hand. Then we still get problem for refugee camp. So who side we go fit go again? Country people for this palava so I no know me. Me dem just kill me one time because as I dey see am, e show say dem no get respect even for with small pikin dem wey dem go school. If e mean say dem no get palava for this pikin dem no get concern for this pikin dem, that means na only Papa God go fit help we. My own don finish for here, so I go give chance for we come be dem we go talk for big grammar, Oni and Star, make dem come continue this story in the proper. Make una stay fine. I don go me.
We don't have any sound. There seems to be no sound.
Yeah, that same here. Yeah, when Duke, are you hear me? I'm doing sound check. I did a system search.
Mayor, I can hear you. I can hear the others, but I don't think I can hear ABC if Paddy is talking or saying something.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So my sound is in order.
And women, let their ultimate sacrifice be the reason we change the game and give our enemies what they have been giving us. Ambazonia needs to protect its people from the terrorist troops of La République du Cameroon. The time is now to do just that.
We are enough, so let's draft, and draft. Our existence as a people depend on that.
It's time for Donga Mantung County.
One jump is the ambassador of Donga Mantung artists. Ahead, Mr. Fogwe Rogers. Oh, you national Buddha President. Chilo Mapi, Jambo, Mitango, Vera. Okay, you're German. Charlie Boy and Dongo and Dongo. Okay, you're German. Good evening and welcome to another pre-draft show with Tarh King. This time we are in Donga Mantung.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices.
Let our fallen heroes and heroines guide and shield our men and women. Let their ultimate sacrifice be the reason we change the game and give our enemies what they have been giving us. Amazonia needs to protect its people from the terrorist troops of La República Cameroon. The time is now to do just that.
We are enough, so let's draft, and draft. Our existence as a people depend on that.
It's time for Donga Matung County.
One jump is Waters, the ambassador of Donga Mantung artists. Ahead, Mr. Fogwe Rogers. Oh, you national Buddha. Fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, every episode of the pre-draft show will not only entertain, captivate, and educate you, but also it stirs the mobilization of resources for a worthy cause. In a world full of scripted dramas and reality TV, this show stands out for its unique purpose to make a difference in the lives of the oppressed peoples of Amazonia. It is a show that combines the power of infotainment, with the strength of collective action. Each episode of this show takes us on a journey through the lives of our people facing immense challenges, be it poverty, discrimination, injustice, or belligerent occupation. We get a glimpse into the struggles of every county in Amazonia and their dreams for a better. But this show doesn't stop at just showing their hardships. It further. It empowers viewers to make tangible impact on each county. Throughout the show, we are presented with opportunities to contribute and support these counties in their fight for a brighter tomorrow. Whether it is through monetary contribution, voluntary, or spreading awareness, we are encouraged to participate actively in their journey towards a better life and, most importantly, a free Amazonia. The pre-draft show is not just a platform for entertainment and or infotainment. It is a catalyst for change. It urges us to tap into our compassion, to open our hearts, and to extend a helping hand towards the liberation movement. It reminds us that we have the power to make a positive difference in the home front, one episode at a time. So I implore you today to tune in, not just as passive viewers, but as active participants. Watch this show with a purpose: to learn, to be inspired, and to take action. Let it ignite a fire within you, urging you to mobilize your resources and reach out to those in need. By supporting this TV show on ABC Amber TV, You are not only contributing to a groundbreaking form of entertainment, but also facilitating real change on the ground. Your involvement will provide much needed resources, amplify voices, and drive forward progress in our communities that have long been overlooked. So join us in this incredible journey. Together, let us power, let us power this TV to mobilize resources, create awareness, and make a lasting impact by charting a definitive path for Amazonia. Thank you for your support, and let us tune into this TV show of purpose and possibility. For those watching via our social media platforms, please share. And I would like us to begin with Undaunted News Weekly Recap with Onyi, Okpala, and Star Smart right after the break.
Good evening and welcome to Undaunted Weekly Recap. This week, we draft Donga Mantung County.
All right, this week the firepower of the ARFs was felt, and Undaunted, we reported the firepower from Bui, Donga Mountain, even Akwaya really felt the ARF's firepower. This week, talks on Bakassi resurfaced, and we heard the learned barrister Tim Bessier delve into it exclusively. Have you got your Amazonian wrapper? Did you know it will be the official outfit for this year's Independence Day celebration come October?
Did you know that? Well, we had the Director General of ABC Amber TV, Ma Endele, talk passionately on the need for everyone to join the train and get these Amazonian wrapper. She enjoyed all to support the draft of Donga Mantung County today in the same spirit. SOS Zama pleaded for all lovers of Amazonia to stay active for the draft tonight as well.
All right, now let's get the recap in detail. Well, on Monday, August 14th, it was another highly observed ghost town in the entire Amazonia. From Donga Mantung County in the Savannah Zone, Cotton Cross Mazam County in the Midland Zone, to Meme County in the Atlantic Zone of Amazonia. Counters saw this particular ghost town in fullest. Well, reports are clear of the fact that shops and markets were locked with all commercial and private transportation means grounded, with the spirit of fallen heroes haunting defaulters.
Well, this week we brought to you on Monday the inhabitants of Bamenda who are bitter about the so-called maintenance work on the city roads, pedestrians having a tough time walking on the roads because of the mud they use on the surface of the road as a result used for the surface dressing of the road. Some are even asking why the so-called representatives of the people use mud to rehabilitate roads in the heart of the raining season with constant downpours.
All right, also this week we reported on Monday, 13th of August, La Republic Cameroon terrorist stations at junctions were patrolling on foot towards the New Deal when the almighty Bui warriors, under the command of Major General Tokendu, got intel on their movement and immediately set up an ambush at New Deal. A total of 6 terrorists were vaporized with the help of a locally made explosive device called the Mai. Immediately after the successful ambush by the warriors that inflicted great pain on the enemy, some of the La Republic Cameroon terrorist stationed at the junction called for backup.
For 2 months, the Amazonian Restoration Forces have mounted a strategic control point that has restricted movement for the Bamenda people Bamenda Fundong Road, which is a move to oust the occupational La Republic forces from Big Babanki and protect the people. But on Saturday, August 12th, 2023, the road was opened and the first vehicle left Bamenda and entered Fundong. This brought happiness to the locals that were trapped in the village as a result of that decision. Unfortunately, after the celebration of the first car from Bamenda into Fundong, two landslides occurred and blocked the road a second time. And we wonder if it's just coincidence.
All right. This week we revisited Balionga's massacre that happened on the 13th of April 2019, the massacre that killed 11 youths. Well, reports actually said more than 13 youths were killed and incarcerated by the French Cameroon militias of Paul Biya in Balionga, the northwest side of the British Southern Cameroon. One wonders how a government with such record trusted and respected by the victim's family. The truth is what is on, and that was not all. We also visited the killing and dumping, mind you, actually went the southern of Amazonia as well.
Undoubtedly, the last of the disgruntled DDR ex-Amazonian fighters at the DDR center, Menda, they lament that they were told they will have just a brief stay at the DDR center, Samament and center, and be reintegrated into society. But they have been inter for 3 years and counting, and the integration promise is not being fulfilled. Talking to the press, the in-house slave Henry, coordinator of the Bamenda Disarmament Mobilization and Reintegration Center, said that the occupants of his center have no reason to be in a hurry to leave.
All right. This week on we talked about the inhabitants of Bamenda weeks of an outbreak as a result of the increase of dirt at the junction in the up station. All right, the stench that these heaps of dirt emit is unbearable. Yet the population is first to bear it. They have no choice. Now they have no choice because they have to hustle for daily bread, which is not easy to get. Traders just sit by the garbage that you are seeing by the screen all long to sell. Well, just see from the screen, flies from these dirt settle on ready to consume stuff, which as well puts the health of the people at risk.
The colonial La Republic government always fabricates for their atrocious actions in Amazonia. But funny enough, the colonial senior divisional officer for Mason, Simon Emile Mo, did not give any reason of mass sporting activities in Bamenda, principally at a station. And have 3 days, which are Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Certainly, another move to fight Monday's ghost town.
All right. We also told you that La Republic de Cameroon's former Minister of Higher Education and member of the Colonial Bilingualism and Multiculturalism Commission, David Abuem Atochi, in October 6, 2020, said that the military option in solving the prolonged war in Amazonia is not productive. Sadly, too, reports that we got says that heavy rain swept the beach and carried it away, following downpour at the Banga B serves as a link with other communities in the area, rendering movement of persons and vehicles a nightmare in Manu County.
The Amazonian Restoration Forces surprised the La Republic Gendarmerie Brigade called Escardon and whenever on the spot, La Republic were told that negotiation with the SACO-led interim government is the only way of solving the problem and not killing innocent Amazonians.
One major report we looked at this week on the African scene is the story of President Mohamed Bazoum of former President of Niger, who was disposed. Well, ECOWAS, who condemned the coup, imposed economic and financial sanctions on the country of over 25 million people. While the new military leadership strongly criticized the sanction imposed by ECOWAS and the West African and Monetary Union as well.
On the foreign scene, with BRICS BRICS group, major emerging economies, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, to hold its 15th Head of State Government Summit in Johannesburg between August and August 24th. The summit will be held the first in-person BRICS gathering since the COVID-19 pandemic. Altogether, the BRICS nation accounts for more than 40% of the world population and 26% of the global economy. One key issue for the BRICS to consider is global governance. There is a need to change the currency, which is unfair, symmetric. In particular, the architecture of the financial system needs a major review by Korea.
Piece of cloth made in Amazonia, a land brimming with history, courage, and the indomitable spirit of its people, a profound reflection of our collective identity and our unyielding struggle, freedom.
A full representation of who we are, what we are, the history and the struggle. A piece of cloth you should have in your closet. It is woven of rich tapestry of cultural heritage, traditions, long desire for self-determination, proudly adorned with importance and this unity in the Amazonian people.
The cloth's patterns encouraged and hope that fueled their aspirations for a brighter future. Each thread represented a story of bravery, sacrifice, and the unwavering commitment to justice.
The piece of cloth made in Amazonia be more than just a garment. It transformed into a symbol of a call for recognition by Amazonians and their allies worldwide. It carried a message: we exist and we deserve to be heard. As long as the cloth adorns chests and shoulders, the spirit of Amazonia on, and the hope for a free and united land remains.
Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices.
Let our fallen heroes and heroines guide and shield our men and women. Let their ultimate sacrifice be the reason we change the game and give our enemies what they have us. Amazonia needs to protect its people from the terrorist troops of the Cameroon. The time now to do just that.
We are enough. So let's draft, and draft. Our existence as a people depend on that.
It's time for Mantung County.
The ambassador of Donga Mantung artists. Ahead, Mr. Fokway Rogers. Oh, you could have jumped on. Okay, you German. Tell the boy and don't go. Okay, you German.
The World Draft once No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices.
Fallen heroes died and shield our men and women. Let their ultimate sacrifice be the reason we change and what they have been giving us. So it is to protect people from the troops of La República War. The time is now to do just that.
So let's draft, and our existence as a people depend on that.
It's time for Donga Mantung County.
One Prince Waters, the ambassador of Donga Mantung. Ahead. Mr. Folkway Rogers, National Buddha President, Chilo Mapi, Jam for me, Tango, Vera, Ori of Jaman, Sandy Boy and Longo and Bongo, Ori of Jaman.
Exclusive from them.
The imagination and marginalizing the actions of the last Cameroon colonial regime is called for content and then for the love of Ambazonia. Well, this is going to be more determined to separate from colonial Cameroon. A case in point of flesh to this. It is 4 years today that an Amazonian journalist was murdered by the Colonial Republic Security Forces under custody. Nobody has been arrested or prosecuted for that. President Paul Biya never ordered any investigation to be opened either. But years later, when mobilization to bring the perpetrator to book by the Colonial Republic government was huge.
Now, investigations are open with many arrested, some currently in prison. The above example is just one many. This simply means that Anglophone lives do not matter. That is more of the reason why there is the killing to sit in on the dialogue table to end the war in Amazonia. Enablers, those who aid the colonial republic in inflicting pain on the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, should be rest assured time is the end will reveal.
All right, it's 4 years since Julius Samuel was detention after being kidnapped by the Colonial Republic of Cameroon Secret Service. In 2019, while under the custody of the Colonial Cameroon government forces, Samuel was murdered. Substance not seen or released to the family. The colonial government of the Republic of Cameroon has maintained its silence over the issue that calls to investigate and bring pictures to book.
This day, 4 years since the reported death, the New York-based Committee to Protect Journalists calls for justice and progress, Zizi family and the media world. On this 4 years ago, popular Southern Cameroonian news or Samuel Wazizi died in La Republic's custody. There has been no credible investigation into his death. His family deserves answers, said by the CPJ Africa report marking the 4th anniversary of Wazizi's murder. According to Angela Quintal, CPJ's Africa Program Coordinator, public authorities heard of Wazizi's death, repeated inquiries and court applications, freedom advocates, family, colleagues, and lawyers. She regrets colonial President Paul Biya promised an inquiry, but there has been no transparency or accountability. 4 years later, and answers, Sazizi's family disclosures and those responsible for Samuel Wazizi's death in custody must be held accountable, she added.
Entered reports from CP report that La Republic of Cameroon police detained Samuel, whose name Samuel Adika Aboe, on August 2nd on suspicion of collaborating with Union forces. His last words to a friend who saw him in custody were, "Don't let me get in here." After the Colonial Republic of Cameroon police transferred him to La Cameroon military custody on the 7th of August 2019, CPJ Samuel was his friends, family, colleagues, and lawyers contact with him, nor did they receive any official update about his case until the military issued a statement 10 months later, claimed he had died on the 17th of August 2019.
Well, 4 years later, colleagues are still without closure, no justice, and members have not been able to. What's easy? The media family continues to demand justice for this young reporter whose only crime was telling the story of the people in a country where the press is routinely being stifled.
La Republic of Cameroon's current president, dictator Paul Biya, has been in power for over 40 years. The country lacks good roads, good water, electricity, jobs, healthcare, and opportunities for youth. Engaged and independent journalists who report about these are labeled enemies of the state and arrested and sent to jail.
Moving on, one thing on the strengths of Amazonia, one thing that is unique about the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia is the strong solidarity spirit that animates them. Call it the community spirit. This is what enabled the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia to develop themselves and their communities. This is the only strategy that the people of southern Cameroon use in constructing roads and providing themselves with potable water.
The people of the British Southern Cameroons today, who are known as Amazonians, have learned to survive without counting on the colonial Republic, the Cameroon's government that has refused to maintain roads in Amazonia. Now, this is the reason while the people of Fundung came out of earth on the road from two blocking the road. They mobilized themselves with farm tools and got the road cleared without any caterpillar or intervention from the colonial Republic of Cameroon authorities. The question is, where were the colonial Republic of Cameroon had to remedy the situation? Amazonians shouldn't relent in taking their destiny into their hands.
Well, sons and daughters of Boyo County demonstrated a strong community spirit in the development of their area. The entire population of Fundong came on August 17, 2023, with a united force to render the Injinicom Fundong passable. The road had been blocked since Sunday after two landslides rendered circulation impossible at two.
Crude tools like hoes and cutlasses, the villagers successfully cleared the earth road. Now, according to a villager, he said, and we have to put forces together to get it useful, though it is the ability of the colonial Republican government to give us road, we will not fold our hands when they fail in duty. Has been how the people of Amazonia have used the roads and how they get to their villages and farm to the markets. This is how they get it done. Right, moving on. ABC Amber TV just learned in Cross River State, Nigeria, security forces threatens to shoot Southern Cameroon breaks bow, an accident that brought tension at the Ogoja refugee camp in Adogan 3, where thousands of Southern Cameroons, Amazonians, are seeking refuge from the war happening in La Republic of Cameroon.
Now, information we got from several witnesses in the camp say on Wednesday, August 16th, 2023, a Chinese worker using the Adagom settlement to reach his work site allegedly removed some brakes that were constructed to protect Amazonian children from overspeeding vehicles. Another witness, a humanitarian who has an engine to support the refugees and is said to have participated in the construction of the speed brakes, Mfo Victor K, said the Chinese men called soldiers and told them, quote, kill this person and I will give you 1 million. Kill this person and I will give you 1 million, taking our picture and showing the soldiers for execution. This is what he said. Now to him, okay, he bemoaned saying took his alongside others and said they were going to kill them.
Well, this particular incident has mounted tension because a soldier allegedly threatened to shoot anyone who dared hit them. One lady is said to have collapsed and was taken to the hospital. Now, the true situation again says that it remains uncertain if the said speed brakes were not supposed to be constructed in that particular area, but the refugees have raised fear of accidents. Of course, you know what happens in highways, especially with heavy duty trucks plying that particular area where their children are vulnerable to accidents. Now, this can also cost to life, and we hope that they can get to an area where they would have dialogue and get it resolved.
Well, voices are heard in a crowd where Amazonian refugees surround soldiers, asking them to shoot and kill them. Let them kill us. They should kill us at once, they say. This is just one out of several sad moments Southern Cameroon's Amazonian war victims face on a day-to-day basis all over the world. Moving on, La Republique What right does it have to the Bakassi? Well, the non-implementation of Article 76B and UN Resolution 1608 XV, paragraph 5 of 21st April 1961 means that La République du Cameroon had and has no legal right to claim over Bakassi Peninsula, which is in the territory of the Southern Cameroons. La République could fool the world, celebrate 15th anniversary of handing over Bakassi, crown the old fox Genocide Bia the wisest man of the year or of the century, and make Cantor the bravest and most learned lawyer for working on the Bakassi files. But then they are just playing for the gallery and should not boast or be proud about what is temporal. Bakassi has been said legally is Southern Cameroon's Ambazonians.
Well, the International Court of Justice stated clearly in its judgment that Bakassi belongs to the Cameroons, and by implication, Bakassi belongs to the state of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, from which La République du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, beg your pardon, agreed to withdraw the occupation forces to within the limits of their international boundaries as obtained on their various dates of independence. Nigeria achieved independence on the 1st of October 1960, and Bakassi, being in the southern Cameroon, wasn't part of it.
Now, La République du Cameroon achieved independence on January 1960, and Bakassi in southern Cameroon wasn't part of it. Both Nigeria and La République Cameroon are signatory of the African Union Constitutive Act, therefore be enjoined African country to maintain and respect their international boundaries as obtained on the date of their independence.
All right, and before we get into the draft proper, let's get into the pre-draft show as Mr. Paddy King is at the other end. Hello, Mr. Tarh.
Our news director, Paddy King, is a little not so disposed at the moment. But then tonight is promising a lot. I mean, it's the pre-draft show for Donga Mantung County, and a lot is expected tonight. What would the mighty Donga Mantung County do? Onyi, what do you think?
Well, I'm sure that everyone is ready. We've been gathering everyone to get ready for this particular draft since the beginning of the week. So I'm sure everyone is ready. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a sister to get ready. The Zoom link is already open, so you'll all enjoy together. Mr. Tarh.
Good evening. Welcome, fellow Amazonians. Thank you once again for joining draft show. We're just about to begin discussions, and sometimes we get through these reports because we want you to understand why we must draft. You've just heard what is happening in Adagom 3 with our refugees. You've also heard what is happening with Bakassi, the rest of Bakassi. If there's any reason why we have to draft, those stories you received from Undaunted this evening should give you that reason, should be your answer. But before we even get into the pre-draft show discussion, I'm aware that Dr. Tata, who is the deputy county chair for the county, is connected. Get into that. We always do a due diligence to get into the counties, do some investigation, try to find out about where the people are coming from. We want to make sure that we know exactly where they are coming from, where they are going to. That's what we have a historical review only, and we have that in two sections. I will ask if the section one or the part one of it, if it is ready. If it is ready, I'd like to usher it now. Right after that, I will start my conversation with Dr. Tata. I want to appreciate you for being patient. Do you want to bring him on the screen briefly? Let me greet him before we play that transit. Good evening, Dr. Tata. You're welcome.
Good evening, Paddy.
You're welcome to this very important show.
Thank you so much, Paddy, for welcoming me into Donga Mantung show.
Donga Mantung pre-draft. In fact, you came with an apron as the graduate people from Donga Mantung today. I'm sure there's a lot in store, but I'd like you to be a bit more as we walk down Donga Mantung with an investigation we did on the historical review, historicity and legality, and I believe Star Smart has that. That will kick the draft session. Stay tuned.
In our editorial for tonight, we take a story overview of Donga Mantung County. Donga Mantung County got its name from a German explorer called Donga, who opened a German station and hospital in Mbim, Nwa in 1911. Mr. Donga also operated the first hydroelectricity plant on a river found beside the hospital, simply called Mantung, meaning river in the Mbim dialect by the natives. So this nation and the German directives made the man and his project on the Mantung River made the Germans to simply consider him and his project a reference point for their exploration of the South Cameroon's high plateau. The administration of Cameroon found these names representative of the historical, developmental, and local distinctions that we used in honor of the incredible work of this German. It is also to be noted that it was that used force laid to excavate the road to via the dangerous rock manually. Now, the creation of Donga and Mantung on the 30th December 1968, 8 years after the invasion and belligerent occupation of southern Cameroon, the then colonial president Amadou Ahidjo, through a presidential decree number 68/DF/509, Nkambe division was transformed into Donga and Mantung region. The interim government has reconstituted as the Donga Mantung County. By the colonial administrative reorganization of 1972, Presidential Decree number 72349 of 4th July 1972. Once more changed the name from Donga and Mantung to simply Donga Mantung. The conjunction and was simply removed. It should be noted that Donga Mantung County derived from two rivers that flow across the county, namely River Donga in Ako area and River Mantung in Unwa government area. Ako local government area was the third local government area to be created in Donga Mantung County. It was created by a presidential decree in 1977. It covered Ako and Misaje areas. Undu local government area was created by presidential decrees in 1992, and its accompanying colonial municipal council was created in 1993 through decree number 93/332 of 25th November 1993. Misaje local government area, just like government area, was created out of Ako government area by another presidential decree, this time by the octogenarian Paul Biya. This recap should tell you the colonial administration has governed their territory, the South Cameroons. Let's move on to something very interesting about the county. Prior to the French Cameroon colonial rule and administrative reset of Southern Cameroons, the Cameroon, however, became a German protectorate on July 14, 1884. By 1916, Germany was defeated during the First World War by the Allied forces, and the Cameroon split and handed over and Britain under the League of Nations Mandate Agreement of 1922. France, where mandated by the League of Nations to administer and prepare the Cameroons of the German and the British, who had to enact policies that would ensure efficiency in the administration of the respective portions of the mandated territory of the Cameroons, both as Category B territories under the UN mandate. Now, from 1916 to 1922, Britain had no formal administrative policy for the British Cameroons and Nigeria. It was only in 1923 that the British Orders in Council created the then administrative units known as Native Authorities NA, headed by traditional rulers. The 1923 Orders in Council established British colonial policy for the British Northern and Southern Cameroons and Nigeria. The Orders in Council equally enacted the British laws, which were already applicable in Nigeria, be extended to both the Northern and Southern Cameroons. Each village or chieftaincy fundum constituted a native authority. The 1923 Orders in Council introduced a native administrative system known as indirect rule. British administered its colonies in Africa through indigenous chiefs and traditional institutions. This administrative system therefore excluded the educated from administration. Administration was mounted by traditional rulers who were for the most part not literate or well educated, hence lacked both managerial capabilities and financial resources to carry out socio-economic development. This constituted a major flaw of the native authority system of administration. This flaw necessitated the administrative reforms of 1949 by the British. In 1949, Britain decided to create local government units in the British Cameroons and Nigeria. Different chiefdoms or fundums were merged together to constitute divisional local governments. Thus, the two lands and parts of Savannah zones were transformed into a province known as the Bamenda Province, with 3 divisions, namely Bamenda Division, Womb Division, and Nkambe Division. Southwestern was equally divided into 3 divisions, namely Mamfe Division, Kumba Division, and Victoria Division. These divisions had deliberative and legislative powers, and their representatives were elected through universal suffrage. They were empowered to ensure development in its facets. Now, this is the end of the first segment. In the next segment of our editorial on Donga Mantung County, we'll take a look into the anthropological history of Donga Mantung County.
Good evening and welcome back. We are in Donga Mantung County, and as you've heard from our historical research, Donga is from a German Mantung River. We're going to cover more about that, part 2, where we'll be presenting to you the anthropological history, cultural and touristic interest of the county that you may want to know. Before we get into that, remember we're going to have Barrister Tim Bissell by John Sott to join us in this conversation. Before we have them, let us have Dr. Tata once more. Dr. Tata, good evening and welcome again.
Yeah, good evening, Director Paddy.
How are you doing today?
It is a great day. You see, we're ready to graduate our people to join us in Buea for the celebration of independence.
Yeah, there's something very particular about this year's draft. And that was brought to my attention by during her interview with Undaunted, I think on Thursday. She actually said this is the 7th year that we are fighting for our freedom. 7 has a great significance, which means completion. So this year's draft is significant. We've drafted counties already. Some people are drafting development and in and you are the coordinator. Tell us a little bit more about your county and your preparedness ahead of tonight's draft.
Yeah, just to add to what the Undaunted presented, I'm here to tell us that the DMC, the first original name of DMC was Nkambe Division under the Bamenda province. Just like what they said, it was Wum, Bamenda, and Nkambe that had the local government unit. And it was created in Nkambe Division was created, which is now called Mantung, was created by a British colonial ordinance in 1949. That's after the Second World War. And at the Mantung today, we can see that Donga Mantung is really a small miniature of Ambazonia, because it is at the extreme end, the northern side of Ambazonia. When you leave Victoria going up, you will to the extreme end, and it forms boundary with Nigeria. Not we see that Donga Mantung, there are 2 rivers which Undaunted has already told us, and we have a land size of more than 4,000 square kilometers, with a population of more than 340,000, making the 4th largest county, 13 counties of Ambazonia. Not only that, we have 5 local government areas. I will start with the most populated. Ndu is the most populated, Ndu LGA, followed by Mwat LGA, and the 3rd largest LGA in Donga Mantung is Nkambe, and the 4th is Ako, and the 5th is Misaje LGA. And when we look at the enrichment, Donga Mantung is enriched with a heavy deposit of iron ore. And not only that, precious metals like gold, cobalt, and tin. It is really wonderful place. We have industrial minerals like the granite. The granite extends from Mwa and go through Nu, Tunkabe, and Tumbu LGA. That's Mr. J. Of cobalt, and cobalt is good construction of road, drive also for plates and so on. It's a very great deposit. Not only that, we have food crops, plantains, maize, beans, soybeans, guinea corn, banana, cassava, cocoyams, etc., oil. We have this other place like in the Mbok Plain, and another plain in Ako. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we already have all of that packaged in our editorial for tonight. We have and there's a part 2, and that information. What I'd like you to about right now is the administrative setup of your county and what you guys have done ahead of this draft. I'm not sure if we have more than enough time to do that. Tell us a little bit more. What is the current administrative setup? How can Ambazonians help this county in mobilizing human resource and financial resource? So how are you people prepared ahead of tonight? That's what I'd like you to focus on.
All right. Concerning the administrative setup, we have the chairman, that is the county coordinator, the chairman of MUA, Dr. Ruel. I am the deputy coordinator for Donga County, and we have apart from 5 counties, we have MUA, Ndu, Eje, and Eje that are active. Ako and Eje are not yet active. And by the God, something has been put together. The executive of the county has come up with more than 12 has already paid in cash. I can tell you that. A big donation tonight.
That's amazing.
Tonight.
And now, are all the A's in your county constituted?
For now, we have that is Mwa and Kambe. They are very soon they will be constituted. We are coming up strongly.
Excellent. So we're going to continue a discussion having Pastor from Pastor Tim says some reports. But before we even get into that, I'd like us to have this brief from a beautiful lady from Donga, Mantung County. And right after that, we'll continue our conversation of tonight. Stay tuned.
BK Production. Tema unifele aisi donae chukofani tema chukofani me aisi tema chukofani me aisi science dale si uniba science dale si uniba kinisi aye atue Ekube atue, aye atue, ekube atue. Oh ram lam le lorkae, oh ram yele bani mire, oh ram lam le lorkae, oh ram yele bani mire. Aye, 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 aye. Oh mama mengne, oh mama mengne, ya bibu mama mengne. Aye, oh, to my creepy, I do my creepy, nothing to be anyway. I lost you, oh, I didn't die. I come and go to say, he come and go to say, aye, 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 do it, ya my boy, ya me do a cuckoo barae, me do a good, most of your chessy chenchi, Bosia banana, aye, 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 atue, ekube atue, aye, atue, ekube atue, aye, 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 ave mukundrunge, mele ave mukuntasinge, ave mukuntasinge, I'm just a great fear, I'm just a great fear, ya tarfu e barami, aye, 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 atue, ekube atue, aye, atue, ekube atue, aye, 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 longam to me buntie, longam call me buntie, akaduba me buntie, akaduba mi buntie oburi gwe malu kini wi oje bwaro kini wi oje tango kini wi oje biao see you later we mosro bani ubajokele aye 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 wimbo mamlo matikare wimbo mamlo matikare siamsulo tabale we mosire bujo kesi bani ubajokele confura mo koyo dare come amo e conwe aye aye tu Ekube atue, mokutu atue, chise atue, aye, aye, aye. Kyo beruwe, tarmo beruwe, midu wabu mafu amen wabu mafu I'm a barrier. I'm good
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices.
Let our fallen heroes and heroines guide and shield our men and women. Let their ultimate sacrifice be the reason we change the game and give our enemies what they have been giving us. Ambazonia needs to protect its people from the terrorist troops of La République du Cameroon. The time is now to do just that.
We are enough, so let's draft, and draft. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It's time for Donga Mantung County.
One Prince Waters, the ambassador of Donga Mantung artists. Ahead. Mr. Fogwe Rogers, National Buddha President, Chilo Mapi, Jambo Mitango, okay, up Jaman, Charlie Boy and Dongo and Bongo, okay, up Jaman.
It's ABK production.
Koni you fella I see I see Chema chuko fani me I see Chema chuko fani me I see
Once again, you're welcome back. We are in Donga Mantung with such beautiful music there. I hope Dr. Tata will be able to explain to us what they're talking about. Dr. Tata, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Amazing. What was that music talking? What was it all about? Maybe you want to explain it to our audience like myself, who just loved the rhythm of it but did not understand.
To God be the glory. They are asking, who shall we praise? And the answer in the song is, we will praise the Almighty. That was what they're singing before we came on back.
It would seem as the image is lagging. We're calling on all those who are watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, those who are on WhatsApp groups. You have to keep sharing and inviting Ambazonians to join the Zoom is opened. And like we do all the time, as a part of our tradition, we will switch off or stop the stream on Facebook so that you can join the president in the Zoom meeting and be a part of draft. The draft is taking the Zoom. Like I told you earlier on, the purpose of show is just to inspire you and to give reasons why you have to be a part. So, Dr. Tata, we had a conversation. I think we're just moving on it. We yet to get to the depth of it. The county is geographically in a way that requires, I would say, strategically positioned. Do you want to tell us more about that? I wish we were able to talk with some defenders from the county that will tell us how in strategic the county is positioned. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, the county is strategically positioned, and we form the Mantung and the Donga rivers form a large national boundary with the neighboring Nigeria, and we have one of very large food basket of Amazonia. There's a lot of food crops that are produced there, and we're looking forward that in the near future, as soon as we gain our independence, and an independence that the first administration of the neighboring colonial stole from us in 1961 when they brought in the gendarmerie to occupy our territory till now. Once we get that independence, we will have a large potential. Remember that Nigeria is 200 million plus population. And we in this side of the river is going to be a large potential to supply them with a lot of food crops because we'll produce more in agricultural mechanized farming. We'll be able to produce a lot of, we enjoy the two big plains in Abongshe, in Accord, LGA, and also in LGA we have the Mbok plain that goes over and have boundary with Ngoketunjia. Those regions, they have a wonderfully fertile, apart from the cattle rearing that we have, that is one of the largest production of cattle, animal husbandry in the whole of Amazonia. And not only that, statistics have shown that every year we have more than 240 tons, 250 tons of 250,000 tons of food crop are produced. And with this is just low farming. What more of mechanized farming that we will be able to skyrocket, and we will have tons upon tons that it will be a large export neighboring area.
Yeah, that's important there. I hope to, I know you one of your county officials is a very instrumental figure within the Amazonian National Security Council, and he plays an instrumental role in the federal government strategy to prosecute the ground game. I'm going to try to reach him on phone any moment from now so that he can give to us some statistics or facts in this regard. But then, as much as you can respond to it, Dr. Tata, what is happening on the ground in Donga Mantung with the Amazonian Restoration Forces? What is happening on the ground? We understand that this was one of the counties that were greatly affected by coup plotters. But again, that's not an excuse for rehabilitation, reconstruction. In terms of the reconstruction that has been ongoing for at least a year, what can you tell Amazonians that is happening? And how can Amazonians trust that whatever they're providing to you people today will surely only help to promote something that's ongoing, not emptiness?
You know, Paddy, thank you so much for that question. I want to clear some stereotypes. Some people think that if you are a Christian, you are a servant of God. You should not come out to free your nation. They look at it as a stereotype. We step forward because the Bible says if the righteous person rules, the people are happy. I believe that as those of us who have stepped out, the people of our county and in general, Amazonia will be happy because righteousness will exalt a nation. With reference to your question, I can boldly say that one of the things that apart from Mano in Victoria, where we have the largest military base, the second largest military base in Amazonia is in Donga, Mantung. And there has been a boom, but like David and Goliath. We're looking at that as anything. We are on the side, we are fighting a fight of inheritance, and the other people they are thieves, and they are afraid. They are afraid. The morality is down, and despite the setback from Sanballat and Tobias, the coup plotters, as you said, we are regrouping and we are becoming strong and strong. And we play the rules of Geneva Convention of 1949. It's not civilian people going to defend the territory. It's our boys on self-defense because they saw the need that we must possess our possession, and they stood up to defend the land. And that is how the restoration forces were formed in. Despite the other fake ones that has come up and are doing terrible things in the land, the truth will set us free. Because the true restoration forces, they are not kidnappers, they are not the people that are taking people for ransom. They are doing the right thing. When we get to Boya, the International Court of Law, they will judge those people like what our neighbor things they did. The Ngarbu massacre, Director Paddy, you remember, it was the Bororos that were used as a coverage with the enemy troop to massacre our people innocently. And February 14 is always being remembered for that. But we are now when the Secretary for Defense comes up, the Deputy Secretary for Defense comes up, is going to give more details because there have been the LGA has become like the Jericho in those days. Nobody freely comes out and nobody freely goes in. Our people have studied the time, and our restoration forces are equal to the task, Paddy.
Yeah, it would appear, Ndonga Mantung is like a gateway. Because I want us to imagine a scenario whereby La République du Cameroon forces are coming in from Sabongari and then to attack different counties. So, cognizant of this positioning, the benefit and the danger that it may involve, are you people factoring out, without giving any strategic information public, are you people factoring out how you able to counter in any eventuality that Cameroon is strategizing to Sabongari from the north into Donga and to attack other counties? If you have any from the part, if you don't, just Ambazonians will not be too funny.
Answer you in this form. That is a situation Goliath, and Goliath might be well armed with kinds of weaponry. You have seen that. And our boys, because it's a war of inheritance, our boys are brave. And with the wisdom from above, they have been able to defend the territory, and we are hearing good news from us. So I'm not talking much. I just repeat that. Thank you.
Well, we already having signals that we may be transitioning anytime soon. In Ambazonia, this 17 after 10 p.m. And I understand for those in the United States, this could be about 5 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. The draft will be starting any moment from now. But even before the draft, there is a part 2 of our editorial, which has to do anthropologic history of Donga Mantung County. I would like us to play. Right after that, we'll be back with our discussion. Stay tuned.
You're welcome back. Now let's look into the anthropological history. Donga Matun County is located in the north crossroads between southern Cameroon and Nigeria. It is a culturally diverse area that has an anthropological history. The region is home to several ethnic groups, including the Tika, Fulani, Chamba, and So and Boom. Each of these groups have unique cultural practices, traditions, and languages. One of the notable cultural features of Donga Matung is the presence of Tika people. The Tika are known for their intricate artistic skills, particularly in pottery and woodcutting. They create beautiful pottery pieces such as pots, plates, and cups, which are created with intricate designs. These artisans have been passed down through generations. Tika artisans continue to practice these skills today. The division to the Fulani people, who are semi-nomadic pastoralists. The Fulani are known for their cattle rearing and their colorful traditional clothing. The region provides a suitable environment for grazing, and therefore the Fulani people raise large herds of cattle. Their lifestyle and traditions offer a unique cultural experience for visitors. Another notable cultural group in Donga Matun County is the Chamba people. The Chamba are skilled farmers who cultivate various crops such as maize, millet, and beans. They also have distinct architecture with houses from mud and thatched roofs. The Chamba people are proud of their cultural heritage and often showcase their traditional dance and music during festivals and special occasions. The Nso people, who belong to the white Bamenda Grassfields ethnic group, are also a prominent cultural group in Donga Matun. The Nso are known for their elaborate social organization and a strong emphasis on traditional customs and etiquette. They have a rich oral tradition with folktale history playing a significant role in their cultural practices. Apart from this cultural richness, Donga Matun boasts several tourist attractions. Mount, first of all, the highest peak in West Africa, is located in this region. It is all endemic plant offers breathtaking views of the surrounding land. The region also has several sites such as the Umbororo water tracks. Tourists interested in nature and outdoor activities. Donga Matun County, Southern Cameroon, has diverse heritage with various groups ecological history. The presence of groups like the Tika, Fulani, and So and adds to the richness of the additional natural attractions beyond Oku and its waterfalls, potential tourist destination for those interested in both culture and natural beauty. Well, editorial history piece of tonight, Paddy King. If you want more of some interesting art, kindly visit our www.abcambetv.com for more. Subscribe, become a club member of this winning strategy. Final payment details on your screen. I am Star Smart, reporting for Undaunted.
That was amazing. Thank you, Star Smart, for that information. You heard her. If you want to hear more of such, subscribe and become a club member. And on the website, weekly, daily updates. We also calling on the Secretary of State for Education and Strategic or county officials to us so that we can put together this work of research, and it will be beneficial to the nation. As it's important that we do that. While Cameroon is planning to write 3 nights to teach us here on, we should be writing what we know is factual for posterity. Now, Dr. Tata, you're welcome. Now we'll be rounding off so that we can have the audience on Facebook and YouTube and the Zoom meet and get started. Right now, after all the preparation you do, what are your expectations of tonight? You may have details in figures as well. Dr. Tata, please.
My experience is obvious. I was just talking with a colleague that for the past drafts, we have always been present. We are financial warriors. We've always been present in other drafts, is Langi. And not only that, our expression tonight, stock it in vernacular. Yeah, you know, Yimbum, yeah, you know, Bima Masani, yeah, ma ako, yeah, you know, Vuni, wewe, long, long, si talk to Batma Boya. Tuku, Dr. Sakobi Bantanchini, and every wewe, Vuni bongbong, Vuni nitsi give bongabi younger, and Nubi Jasi, Nuang we fast, Njichane, Yarine beach, which will be pitching lanyo, where I'm Loro Bua Terber, Nualakulat, Vuni, ne will te, Ningomba Lumi, where I be mina yes, will be te amo Daniel Amba, Atewa. So what I'm saying that is that I'm mobilizing everybody from all the 5 local governments and our friends of Ambazonia. It is our day today, and we're looking forward for a great night. Thank you, Dr. Director Paddy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tata. It's amazing. You say draft Nanjangi. It was sounding in my ears like what Achidachu said in 2006. Is it 2006? I think it's 1996, sorry. Where you say politics Nanjangi. I hope that's not a connotation here. You crash my back, I crash your own. Well, it has been our culture as a people of Amazonia to collaborate and to make things happen. Thank you very much, Dr. Tata. I know you are an official of the county and you have a lot to do at the background. Do you have any last words you want to give to Ambazonians who are listening to you so that I can free you to go and get some preparations and get more people join the Zoom?
My last word is for my Christian friends that you should go to the Bible again and look very well that from the Old Testament to the New Testament, God has defined things, governance, and because of the stereotypes that has existed, don't shy away. If the righteous don't step in, then the unrighteous will continue to be over us, and the people will cry. Fellow Ambazonians, let's join hands together and let us free our land. This is the struggle about inheritance. We are the rightful owners of the land. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tata. Do you want to do it in the vernacular?
Donga be mingwa, be kuya, be minkambe, be masanje, be ma ako, siva be nywa fasi bujane, sifa bonimba, tominyor, Ibo visi obo Congo ni si. Berry sine, berry bi wewe ti ambo vuntini, berry we magor. Thank you, Dr. Paddy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right after this musical break, we will come back to get into the new phase as we begin this draft. Stay tuned.
It's ABK Production.
Oh ram lam le lor kae, oh ram yele ba di mire, oh ram lam le lor kae, oh ram yele ba di mire, aye 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 aye, oh mama ye ma mengi, oh mama ye ma mengi, ya bi mama ye ma mengi, aye aye, oh ram to ma creepy, I can't do my creepy, Natana to be banning ray, Allah so hard for the ray, oh my God. Exclusive from Demos Records.
Hiya, hiya, hiya.
Fellow Amazonians, I'm sure when you listen to this beautiful music from every county, you also feel like wherever you find yourself, you want to go home. And the drum is giving us possibility. Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, today is another day of the county draft. And as you already know, this week we're in Donga, Mantung County. On behalf of ABC Amber TV management, for you to appeal for your compassion, your generosity, and support. We find ourselves witnessing a struggle for independence restoration, a fight against oppression and a defiant occupation. It is a battle that requires not only the strength and resilience of the Amazonian Restoration Force fighting day and night for their lives, sovereignty of the home front, also the unwavering support of individuals like you who have acted the call, who can sense the urgency and who believe in just an act. For the past 7 years, we have that the Amazonian spirit is capable of remarkable things. These years, we have triumphs, brought about by the determination of our collective efforts. But we must not forget that behind every triumph lies a long and arduous journey filled with suffering, sacrifices, and unimaginable hardships. Today, in various corners of the homeland, there are people who wake up every day under the weight of belligerent occupation, facing injustice and discrimination for freedom that many of us take for granted. Diaspora. These brave individuals fight against all odds, risking their lives in pursuit of self-determination to determine their own destiny. Blind eye to their struggle, as it is our collective responsibility to stand beside them, to uplift their voices, and to support them in their fight for independence, the independence of our homeland. They are not mere victims. They are resilient fighters who deserve our solidarity and assistance. Thank you all once again on behalf of the blood that have been spilled, on behalf of the president of the interim government, on behalf of Mami, on behalf of baby Mata, on behalf of baby Caroline, you all today who have again this time for Donga Mantung to open your hearts and your wallets. Your contribution, no matter how big or small, will make a difference. Will provide essential resources to those in need, ensuring they have access to food, shelter, medical aid, and the necessary equipment needed to protect themselves from terrorist forces of Cameroon. Your donations will serve as a lifeline, offering hope to Mantung, who have been denied of their own for too long. Remember, $1 you donate is more than trivial. It is a symbol of solidarity, a beacon of hope, and a tangible support for being suppressed and oppressed. We've suffered this suppression and oppression for at least 6 decades. Investing in our independence restoration movement, you are investing in a few freedom and justice prevail. Never on the collective action. The draft is a proof of when we come together to support people of Amazonia via the draft, we send powerful message. We declare that we will not idly by injustice persist, but rather we will take us, we will make a difference. And for a nation, our nation, to be free from the Franco hegemony, where everyone can live in peace and freedom. Again, in our hills and heights, mountain sides, and we can sit together with our grandmothers and have roan and plum, and we can eat fresh granite during the rainy season. I look forward to go home soon. So I implore you to, if you have this desire, to give monthly. Reach deep into your pockets and find the compassion that resides within one of you. Your donation today will not only provide needed resources, but will ignite a spark of within the heart of those fighting for our liberty. Let us continue the list by this again generation. Let us stand on the side of further independence. Let us be the driving force, the independence restoration movement for our nation. Thank you once again for your unwavering support. Generosity inspire us in this noble cause. We can Thank you. We're going to the Zoom collectively, but first of all, let's enjoy this music. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to see all counties, and I look forward to see every. Thank you very much. It was an opportunity to have a draft show with you. Not done yet. We will stop the stream on all our social platforms. We will continue with the home front via the satellite. I believe we will come back live when the will be at. Thank you.
Exclusive from Demos Records.
Hiya, hiya,